Welcome back to another episode of I Wish They Knew, a show where we share big ideas that deserve more attention and about the time it takes to enjoy a cup of coffee. I'm Joe Hirsch. Today's wish comes from Claude Silver. Claude is the Chief Heart Officer at VaynerX. I believe she was the first person in the world to actually hold that title. Many imitators, but only one original. And there she partners with CEO Gary Vaynerchuk to drive the company's mission and its success. She's the recipient of several awards in her industry, including Adweek's Changing the Game Award, and has helped organizations like Meta, Google, and the U.S. Armed Forces improve their talent and workplace cultures. Claude's new book, and it's a good one, is Be Yourself at Work. Claude, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. You can be my MC any day of the year.
Yes, I was hoping for that. So, job accepted, challenge taken. I have been very much looking forward to this conversation because it seems like we need more heart in the way we lead and in the way we show up at work to lead now than ever before. So what do you wish more people knew when it came to how people show up and show themselves?
What I wish is that people knew it is okay to share your emotions in the workplace. The only thing we ask is to have self-regulation, emotional regulation. But I want people to know it is okay to show themselves, and we are emotional beings. You and I start our day at 6, maybe 5 in the morning. We get on our laptop or we walk through the office doors at 9. I've already had 3 hours with my children, with my dog, with maybe, a terrible workout, a fight with my spouse. Like, we have life. And then we come into work and we're like, and scene. And that's impossible. It is impossible. And I think the stress that it puts on us, invisible stress, is a real deal. It's a real part of, I think, the burnout.
Mm-hmm. So the case for emotions is really a case for business success, because if people can bring more of those regulated emotions into the workplace, then the workplace becomes more human, more productive, and obviously more successful. But as you argue in the book, showing up this way not only has a positive impact on the self, right, avoiding the burnout and feeling more engaged, it also has an effect on the people that we work with. What would a workplace that operates like this, where people feel the license to show up fully human, bringing their true but regulated emotional state and self to work, what would that look like?
Yeah, such a good example. Riding up in the elevator, we're all going to the 25th floor. We all work at VaynerMedia. Hey, what's up? What do you do at VaynerMedia? Hey, I'm Claude. Oh, hey, that. Walking through the hallway and having someone look at you in the eye and be like, hey, how are you? No big deal.
Right.
What is that fear that prevents us from doing that? Right? Look, the elevator thing, we all have elevator fears and anxieties, but when I see that we're all going to 25, I'll say, hey, what's your name? I'm Claude. What are you
we got
doing?
24 more flights to go, right?
Yeah, right? It's like, and yes, maybe I'm more at ease doing that, but walking through the hallway, in the kitchen, you're both trying to get coffee. That's what I mean, because culture is made up in those micro moments. Culture is made walking through the hallway. Culture is made in the bathroom. Hey, I saw you got engaged over the weekend. Way to go. Right? Like,
Right.
we're all here in this ecosystem together. And I really do believe that if we could just for a second take down our shield, just for a second, and show our eyes and just say, hey, what's up? That's a start.
Yeah. And that culture, it's contagious, right? It spreads pretty quickly when more people feel that it's possible and even permissible to be that way. It spreads.
Yeah. And you can hear it. You can hear the cacophony of chatter in the kitchen or in the laughter. And I love that. I love seeing people jamming together, showing each other a deck, rather than like, you sit behind me, but I'm going to slack you anyway.
Exactly. So you identify 3, I guess you could call them pillars, these foundational ways that people show up at work. One is emotional optimism. The second is emotional bravery. And the third is emotional efficiency. If you can, take us through these features and how they play out in our everyday interactions at work.
Emotional optimism is faith. Emotional optimism is seeing possibility. It's a growth mindset. It is knowing that, yes, I just got a terrible review, but I'm not a terrible person. I'm sad doesn't mean I'm a sad person, right? I'm frustrated, I'm not an angry person. Emotional optimism is knowing that I have the agency, me, to change Claude's inner dialogue. And that is a big deal. That stems from self-awareness.
Mhm.
In wanting to get out, I don't want to be beholden to the fact that I'm angry. I'm not an angry person. This situation upset me. I have emotions about it. But I'm gonna use the emotions, as Dr. Susan David says, as data, as a signpost to tell me, "Okay, that's how I feel. I might need to go take a walk with a friend right now," right? That's emotional optimism, but the belief that it's going to get better and I don't have
Mhm.
to do it alone, right? Emotional bravery is actually taking action. Okay, now I took my walk and I wanna write my manager an email and say, "John, thank you so much for your time with that feedback. I'd really like to take the weekend and get back to you on Monday. There's a couple things that I'm confused about and would like to just sit with it. Can we set up some time on Monday?" That is feeling the fear and doing it. I am being brave. My emotions are still high, but I'm taking action on them rather than just sitting there and feeling like I'm a failure and letting my imposter syndrome, lead my life. The efficiency is the more you do this, I believe the faster you will build that muscle. The faster you will say, "Okay, I've been here before. It's not the end of the world. No feeling is final. I know I can go take a walk with my friend and I can get back on the saddle." Now,
Mhm.
if you put that into teams, Joe, emotional optimism in teams is knowing like, yeah, you all lost that pitch, but man, oh man, did we build a great team doing it, right? It's not toxic positivity. It's like, all right, now we've got new friends. We're going to get on another pitch together. We built resilience. We built trust with one another, right? It's going to be okay. The bravery again is taking that step forward. Let's do a post game. What happened in that pitch? That was on me. I'm taking accountability. That was me. I had the spelling mistakes in that deck. That was me, or whatever it is. And then the efficiency is there's no drama. It's shorthand now. We've done this so many times before. We trust one another. We know that we're safe in this group. So, like, let's go. It doesn't always have to be a whole drama and
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking for, that flywheel that happens in seconds, in a year, in a day. It's happening if we notice it.
Right, right. And what is very powerful about that is that none of this is final if we take agency and ownership over it and work through it together.
There you go. If you take agency and ownership and know that this is not final, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. If you do that over and over, you get faster, faster. You didn't hurt my feelings. You interrupted me, but I know you didn't mean it because you're just ADHD and you just, these things that happen here. We're
Yeah.
human. We're
Yeah.
human.
And I think this comes to another point you make in the book, which I thought was interesting. It's a frame about teams that you don't often hear. And that's that good teams are really good citizens and practice good citizenship. And you list of 7 principles of what it means to be a good citizen in the context of good teaming. I'll just share a few of them here. Being humble, being brave, being responsible, being in the moment, being someone who can see and think long term, and then being an accelerator, which I want to get into in just a moment. In your experience, which of those principles of being a good citizen is hardest to develop but maybe at the same time, most important to really cultivate?
I have to pick two, and I think they go hand in hand: humility and bravery. I really do. Humility is learned. It's not being a martyr. It's not being a people pleaser. It's not shying away from congratulations and whatnot. It's something that you either have it or you build it. And I think it's very difficult to find in a workplace where there's politicking. You took my idea. No, 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 I want my idea. No, no, use my idea. That humility of just being like, I know me. I'm good. I'm good. The bravery, of course, going back to taking action is tough because we're filled with anxiety. What
Mhm.
happens if we say the wrong thing, Joe? You all
Mhm.
gonna look at me like I'm a weirdo? Am I not gonna get that promotion? Like, what happens if I raise my hand and maybe there's no psychological safety in that room or that culture and I just get pounced on? And I think it's really tough for people to take that step, the action step that is needed. Because once you take that step, I guarantee you, you will be lighter. Things will open. Now, the accelerator is a funny one. The accelerator for me is really Gary Vaynerchuk, who's my boss. Yes, he is a disruptor. And yes, he's an incredible entrepreneur. He's a visionary. And I do think while one of the citizenships is being able to see long term, I think there's something to the accelerator that doesn't hold on to the past, is future tripping that much just because they believe in possibility, but not future tripping so that they're out of the present tense, but
Okay.
they're able to take people along on the ride. And the proactivity, being on the offense, those types of things, which are very rare in a person, I think, in a workplace.
Hmm.
Going
Right.
to the ball, going to the ball, not
Right.
waiting for the ball to come to you.
Right.
Go there.
And moving fast, but not leaving people behind.
Yeah. Well, for
It's a
sure.
hard act.
It's a hard act. It takes a lot of humility.
Hmm.
It does. I think it takes putting your ego aside and knowing like you might not be the smartest, but let's go, guys. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
So when it comes to sort of pushing the boundaries of what is possible in the moment, do you find that the people who are able to actually get others to come along are by nature really collaborative, or they're more visionary and they have a vision that people can just get behind, or they, through the force of their will, are able to just sort of bend reality in their and energy in their direction? What are the qualities that you think it takes to be that person who pushes but also brings others along at the same time?
I think it's more of the visionary. I don't think it's the collaborator. This person, I believe, needs a strong system around them, some kind of framework or some kind of team leader to then rally more, to make sure that the operational aspects are happening, right? Like it's one thing to say like, "Yes, let's go. That's our vision." Well, now you need people to put that vision into emotion, into words, into like tactics. And by the way, all of these citizens, they need one another.
Right. It's a community.
Yeah, it's a community. I feel like we probably all have something of most of them, right? Or we want to grow into that.
Right. At different times showing different types.
Yeah, of course, different maturity and like I have to show up this way in this meeting. I understand that's what you need from me.
Right. One of the things we keep coming back to is this idea of being brave and this emotional bravery. And one way that shows up often in the workplace is through the difficult conversations that we probably need to have, but often want to avoid.
Yes.
So, what guidelines have you followed and found to be effective when it comes to making these difficult conversations just a little bit easier?
Yeah, we're so bad at it. Humans are so bad at it. We just don't want to hurt people's feelings and you don't know me. So don't come close to me because you can't give me feedback. You don't know me, right? The first thing that I think would change this system is to understand what connection looks like and how different it is from correction.
Mm,
Connection,
mm,
connecting with your teammates. If I'm
mm,
the leader or your manager, I'm getting to know you. What makes you tick? What makes you twitch? What are your triggers? What's going on with you so that when I meet you for that hard conversation, A, you know that I'm coming with kindness and the greatest intent. I really want you to grow. I really do. And this is going to be a bit of a challenging conversation. However, there's some actions here that we're going to take together. So the kindness, the clarity, the specificity, being current, obviously. Please don't give me feedback from 6 months ago, 4 months ago. I had a different hairstyle. I'm not the same person, you
not
know?
the same. Right.
And then, of course, making it actionable. What do you need to do? This is a bit of a roadmap. Good leaders leave a roadmap. Bad leaders leave an entire mess. I'm cleaning up a mess right now.
Right. 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 It's the distinction of what you do to another person versus what you do for another person.
For and with, I would say. For and
For and with another person. Yeah. And not leaving them behind in the process, right? Showing them where to look, but not telling them what to see, giving them that agency to actually take those steps and be a
that's right.
partner in their own progress.
But what happens, as you know more than anyone, is feedback feels like a gut punch. You literally just shamed the heck out of me, and
Yeah.
I have no wind left. I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave.
Right.
And that's a crime.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to really change the relationship, right? It's not just about how to inform someone about a result. It's a way to transform a relationship.
A relationship. Yeah,
Relationship.
because I'm along the ride with you here. I want you to excel and thrive and spread your wings and get promoted. Of course I do. And guess what? I want that for me too.
The book is Be Yourself at Work, and the author is Claude Silver. Claude, thanks for sharing your wish with us today.
Thank you, Joe.